Configure file and share access. We're going to configure a share. We're in Server Manager. Let's go to Tools, Computer Management. Click on Shared Folders. On Share, we'll right mouse click on New Share. Next, we're going to browse to the C drive and select perf logs. Click OK. Next, we'll leave the defaults set as it is, and we're going to give all users read-only access to this. Click Finish. We'll go back to Computer Management. We'll click on Shares. Notice perf logs is now a share. We're going to verify that our share exists. So we're going to go into our Windows 7 workstation. Going to hit Start, and we're going to type in the path to our new share. And it comes up actually before I could even fully type it in. Plab DC1, the perf logs folder. Alright, so I'm gonna click on New Folder, and I immediately get the error message that I don't have permission for this, because remember, on the DC1 server we saved this as a read-only share. Right now we're going to configure offline files. One of our first tasks is we're going to configure sync options using GPL. Let's click on Tools, Group Policy Management. Let's go down to Practice Labs, Domains. Let's right click on Marketing and select Create a GPO in this domain and link it here. The new GPO name is going to be Offline Sync Policy. Let's click OK. Now we're going to edit the offline sync policy by selecting it, then right mouse clicking and selecting Edit. Next, we'll expand Computer, Policies, Administrative Templates, and Network. Let's select Offline Files. Then there's two policies we're going to be looking for. One is Configure Background Sync, and the other is Enable Transparent Caching. So Configure Background Sync, let's select it. Let's edit. Let's click on Enabled. Click OK. The next GPO we're going to edit is Enable Transparent Caching. Right mouse click, Edit, Enable, and OK. Now going back to the Group Policy Management Editor, let's collapse Administrative Templates. We're going to work on User Configuration, Policies, Administrative Templates, Network, and inside of Offline Files. We're going to edit Specify Administratively Offline Files. Right mouse click, Edit. We selected Enabled. Then under Customize Actions, we're going to click on Show. And the value name is going to be called Mobile Data. And inside of the value field, we'll go ahead and put the path. Click OK. And click OK again. We are now working in PLAB DM01, and we're going to take a look at using the offline folder. So we're inside of this PC. Going to go into the C drive, locate the mobile folder, right mouse click it, and go down to Properties. Let's click on the Sharing tab, then Advanced Sharing. We're going to select Share this folder. Let's click on Permissions, and we're going to select Full Permissions and click on OK. Let's click on the Security tab, and we're going to click on Edit. We're going to select the PLAB DM users, and basically they have read permissions. Now the PLAB DM administrators, they basically have all the permissions. Let's click OK and click Close. Next, we're going to test offline folder access. So we're now back on our Win7 box. So we're going to go to Computer, right mouse click, select Map a Network Drive. Going to go ahead and put the PLAB DM share in. Make sure reconnected logon is checked in. Finish, and we now have the PLAB DM01 as one of our mapped drives, as you can see here. We're going to create a new text document. And we'll just call it memo. Going to right mouse click it and select always available offline. We're going to disconnect from our share right now. Next thing I'm going to do is temporarily suspend the PLAB DM device. It is suspending right now. We'll go back to the Win7 box. PLAB DM is now suspended. So we're now back at the PLAB 7 device, and the PLAB DM, which has our source file, is suspended. But I'm going to map that drive again. And it opens up, and my file is still there. Going to open the file, and it's actually telling me that this file is currently not available for use on this computer. It's fine. I'm going to put a statement in here. Go ahead and close it out. Save it. Now I am going to power on the PLAB DM device. It's powered back on. Going to go back to my Win7 box. And click on Sync Center. Going to right mouse click and open up the Sync Center. And it's showing that I have the one offline file. Going to select that file, right mouse click, and select Sync Offline Files. The sync has been completed. So the changes were detected and they've been applied to the network source of the file. Let's configure Ntfs file permissions. We're going to be working on PLAB DM01. Let's get out of this stuff. Let's go to our C drive, locate the folder called Mobile, and go into the Properties. We're going to go into the Security tab, click on Advanced, we're going to disable the inheritances, and we get this little warning here saying that we're going to have to give implicit permissions, and that's fine. Let's click OK. Next, we're going to click on Edit. Here we have the current permissions for the mobile folder. We're going to remove all the entries. Let's click OK. Get this little warning here. We're going to continue. Let's click OK again. We're done here. The next thing we're going to do is to test the Ntfs security. We're still in PLAB DM01. We're going to go to our Win7 box. And we're going to try to open the share that we just put the security on. And we get this network error that we cannot access PLAB DM01 mobile because we do not have permission to access that resource. We're going to go ahead and log off our Win7 box to test file access in some later exercises. We're now going to create a security group and change the memberships. So we're going to go over to our domain controller, PLAB DC01. Let me get out of this stuff. And we're going to go to Tools, then Active Directory Users and Computers. Going to go inside the Users container. Right mouse click on Users. Select New and Group. I'm going to call this one Mobile Users. Click OK. Now we're going to select Administrators. Right mouse click. Select Add Group. And just type in mobile check names. It should populate mobile users, and click OK to add mobile users to the administrators group. We're going to move over to PLAB DM, our domain member. We're going to right mouse click on the mobile folder, go down to Properties. Click on Security, go to Advanced, click on Change, type in admin, check names, it should auto-populate, click OK. Notice that the owner name has been changed to administrator. Let's click on Add and select Principal. Let's put mobile users in. Let's click OK. We're going to add Modify as one of the permissions. Let's click OK. I'm going to click Add again. We're going to add another role. Select Principal. Going to add the domain admins. Select OK. We're going to give them full control. Click OK. And OK. On the mobile properties, the security groups for mobile users and domain admins have their appropriate permissions set. We're now going to connect to our Win7 box and access our mobile share. And we're back in there. The next thing we're going to do is to configure access base enumeration. We're going to go to our plab dm01 domain member. And we'll go to Server Manager. Click on File, Storage, and Services. Shares. Let's right click on Mobile Share and select Properties. Let's go to Settings. We're going to enable access base enumeration. And this is basically a setting that only displays files that users have permission for. Let's go ahead and click OK. We're still working on plab dm01 domain member server. We're going to open up the File Explorer. We're going to configure volume shadow copy on our C drive. We right mouse click, go down to Properties, and click on Shadow Copies. Inside of the Shadow Copies tab, we're going to select Enable. It's telling us what it's going to do. We'll go ahead and click Yes. Now it shows volume shadow copies is enabled. So our shadow copies is now enabled. If we want to find out when they get created, we'd click on Settings, then click on Schedule, and it's showing us at 7 a.m. every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's going to be creating the shadow copies. Alright, if you want to manually create a shadow copy, you could just click on Create Now, and it just created another one. Let's go ahead and click OK and get out of this. Let's get out of the plab DM device and go back to our Windows 7 box. Let's close out of this stuff. Let's go to our mapped plab DM drive. We're going to open memo and we'll type in a second line. Close it and save it. Now let's right click on memo, go down to Properties, click on Previous Versions, and we're going to open what's selected. Click Open, and notice that it does not have our second line. Let's close out of this, click OK on this dialog box. We're going to go back to the plab DM01 box. Let's go to the properties of the C drive. Click on Shadow Copies. We're going to create another one now. Let's click OK to get out of this. We're going to go back to the Win7 box. We're going to open our text document. It has the second line. We're actually going to add a third line. And we'll save it. Let's right click on Memo, select Properties, Previous Versions, and we now have a newer version. Let's open it, and it has our second line of text. Configuring Ntfs quotas. We're going to go back to plab dm01, our domain member. We're going to right mouse click on disk C and go to Properties. Click on Quota. On the Quota tab, we're going to select Enable Quota and also deny disk space to users exceeding the quota limit. We're going to set our quota limit to 20 KB and we'll set the warning to 15 KB. Next, we're going to select quota entries. New quota entry. And we'll select John, Lisa. Click OK. We're going to limit their disk space to 100 KB and put the warning at 95 KB and click OK. So our disk quotas have been set. Click OK to enable them. We're going to go ahead and create a folder for the security group. So on the Explorer here, we're going to right mouse click, select New Folder, and we're going to name this one Marketing. Let's set up the sharing for the Marketing folder. Right mouse click, go to Properties, click on Sharing. Let's click on Advanced Sharing. Share this folder. Click on Permissions. Going to give everyone full control. Let's click OK and OK. So the Marketing folder is now shared. We're going to move over to Security. Under the Security tab, let's click the Users group, Edit, and we're going to click on Modify. We'll click OK and close. We're going to test our disk quota. We're going to switch our user. We're on our Win7 box right now. We're going to map a network drive. Our network drive is now mapped. We're going to make a new folder, and we'll just name it after Lisa W. Now for our demonstration purposes, I'll open another window. I'll go to the C drive, to Windows, and I'll just grab any file based on size. Windows Update is bigger than the 100 kilobyte limit that I've set. And I'm going to try to copy it into the Lisa W folder. And I get the error message. There's not enough space in the Marketing to put this file in there. So that shows us that our quota limit is working.